Most people fail creatively, not because they lack talent. They fail because they haven't built a habit strong enough to carry them when motivation disappears. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Barry Bizarre. I'm an artist here in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been creating and making art for over 20 years now. And in this particular video, I really want to talk about building a creative habit in your day-to-day life, because I think it's extremely important. When you build a habit, like if you're a creative person and you want to create on a regular basis, when you have that habit, when you build that habit, a daily practice, if you will, you're going to be able to get the work done. A lot of people that I know who struggle creatively, these are a lot of my friends, these are a lot of people that I know that, they want to put something good out. They want to create something, or they're inspired by other people to create. And they have an idea and they get really excited about it. But there's something that happens. They stop. They put it aside. They don't finish it. And why don't they finish it? Well, they don't finish because they're not working on it every day. I really believe that if you want to put something good out, or if you want to put anything out and create consistently, you have to have a daily creative practice. You need to etch in time every single day in order to get the work done. And that takes showing up. That takes practice. And you should do it every single day. Now, a lot of people tell me, well, I don't feel like creating every single day. Or like I only feel inspired to create, every now and then. Or my creativity is pretty random. Like I don't just show up and do it. Like I feel compelled to create when it comes. Like when I get that feeling. And then I'll work on something. But here's the problem with that. Like you're relying on a feeling, a sensation to get the work done, to get you going. You're waiting for something external to push you into doing some sort of creative work. And a lot of creative people, successful creative people, or people who just create consistently, that's not how they do it. They're able to create consistently because they show up every single day. And here's what happens when you show up every day. When you show up every day, it gets easier to get into that mindset or get into that, that creative mentality. But it takes showing up. Because you can force yourself into that creative mindset. It just takes a little bit of transitioning. For me, I work on my stuff every single day. I've been doing a lot of writing lately. And I get up at 5 a.m. every single morning. And I make sure that I'm writing by 5:30. And I give myself about 2.5 hours to write. And, when I'm sitting there at my computer, it's like 5:30, I'm tired, I'm groggy, but I stare at the blank page and I just start writing. And usually at first when I start writing, it's very jumbled. I'm not creating with any clarity. I'm actually not creating at all. I'm just like getting stuff down onto the page. And I really believe that if you can just sit down and just start going to work and allow yourself to work, you'll begin to get into that flow of working. And it takes some time. It takes time. I mean, for me, I feel like it takes me about 10, 15 minutes just to start rolling. Because a lot of times when we sit down and we create, we'll get to our canvas, we'll get to, the page, or we'll get to our project, and like we'll just look at it and nothing's coming. And when you put away your phone, you put away your distractions, you get down to work, other thoughts start bubbling to the surface, right? Like I'll sit down, I'll start to work, and then I'll think about all the other stuff I have to get done today. Or I'll think about who I have to talk to, or I'll think about what am I planning for this weekend? I'll have all this external stuff come into my head that I have to kind of just push out. And there's a waiting period. There's a waiting period of just letting all those thoughts kind of dissipate to where you're focusing on your project, you're staring at your project, and then you just begin to work. That's why at first, at least with me when it comes to writing, I just sit down and I just get whatever I have to get onto the page. And I'll start writing about like my morning, I'll start writing about how I'm feeling, I'll start writing about, my worries, I'll start worrying about, not worrying, but like I'll start writing about everything that's on my mind. And I'll take about, like I said, 10, 15, 20 minutes just doing that. And then my mind is clear. And then I'll look at my project, I'll look at my notes, and then there comes a period where I can start focusing on what I originally set out to do for that day. If I'm writing a short story, I'll think about what I'm writing. And then, after a few minutes, everything starts to flow. So I really believe you can get into that mindset. You just need to be able to transition yourself into working. And then it's pleasurable. You get into the flow, you start working, and things just start to manifest themselves. And, the work's still going to be hard. You're still going to have bottlenecks. You're still going to have problems, but you're going to get something done, and you're going to be able to make some sort of progress. Sorry. Couldn't think of that word. Progress. But it really takes showing up every day to make good work. I really believe that. And when you show up every day, you're gonna, your output's gonna improve, right? Like, if you give yourself 20 minutes a day, what is 20 minutes a day? That's 912 hours? Is that right? 912 hours, something like that? No, maybe that's not right. That's 2.5 hours. I think 20 minutes is like 100. It's like 176 hours, I think. I did the math, and I'm sorry that I'm blanking out right now, but what I'm trying to say is that, like, the more you practice, that time adds up, right? If you have over 100 and some hours a year to work on your projects, you're going to get something done. You're going to put something out. So you need to show up. You need to show up. And it just takes consistency. And here's the thing, if you build a habit and you show up every single day, whether it's 20 minutes, an hour, I give myself 2.5 hours every day to write. I get up early. I give myself time. I do it. But I know life happens. Not everybody has 2.5 hours. Not everybody has an hour. Some people might only have 10, 15 minutes. But even in my life, like, if there's something that comes up and I need to take care of it, I will take care of it. But I make sure that when I sit down, when I get up, I'm making sure that when I work on a project, I give myself at least 10, 15 minutes. I at least put something down on the page, even if it's just a sentence. If I write a sentence, I go, all right, my minimum goal is met. Now, if I can increase that time to an hour, 2.5 hours, then that's wonderful, And usually I will get I try to get 1,000 to 1,500 words down every single day. But if I don't, that's okay. And the great thing about having a habit is I'm not worried about completing projects anymore. I don't stress out about not completing something because I know that eventually it'll get done. All I have to do is show up. So if you're someone who is struggling with getting something done, I want to encourage you to find ways to show up every single day, no matter what it is. If you're a songwriter, even if you're a small business owner, you have an idea for a business, show up every day. Find something that you can do to work on your business. If you're creating a film, work on it every single day. Think about your characters. Think about the plot. Think about, the pieces that you want to put together. Don't worry about trying to be good. Don't worry about, trying to get everything done. Just get one piece done at a time. And if you show up, again, I'm going to keep harping on this. If you show up every single day, you're going to make progress. And the more you show up, the more it becomes a habit, the more things become automatic. And it just becomes a part of your normal day-to-day routine. Think about brushing your teeth. Think about taking a shower. Think about the things that you do every day, that you habitually do every day. Like, you don't think about it, you just do them. The same thing with having a creative practice. If it's something that you do every day and you schedule time to do it every single day, you don't think about it. It just becomes a part of your routine. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. I'm encouraging you to show up and to work and to get better and enjoy creating, not worry about, what you're making, not worrying about if it's good or not. Just make it because you want to make it, and just enjoy that process. And yes, there's going to be days where nothing's happening. Yes, there's going to be days when you're frustrating. But you know what? It doesn't matter what happens in a session. Because you know what? You're going to show up tomorrow and you're going to get it done. You're going to make progress. And eventually, you'll have something finished. You'll have a project that's done. You'll have something to sell. You'll have something to share with the world. And when you go out and you put it out into the world and your project affects somebody else, sorry, I'm really excited. My coffee's going everywhere. But I don't know about you, but I get so excited sharing my work with other people. And the more I do it, the more I'm compelled to do it again and again and again. And having a creative routine and a creative outlet, it's a lifelong thing. It's a part of you. And the more you do it and you show up every day, your identity shifts, right? You start to identify yourself as someone who's creative. And your work gets better. You'll improve your skill set. And it just becomes a part of you. So I'm going to stop right there. I think we're at 17 minutes. I hope this video has helped you, but I really want to encourage you to just think about how you can show up every day and do your creative work. If you have an idea or you have something that you want to work on it every single day. Just try it. Give yourself 20 minutes. I know 20 minutes doesn't sound like a long time, but just show up every day. I argue, I tell everybody they should try to create first thing in the morning. I know not everybody can. Everybody has different ways of working. But it's easy to show up early in the morning and do it first thing because, for one, if you show up early, you're gonna feel refreshed. I mean, you're gonna have a blank slate. You're not gonna feel exhausted because if you've gotten adequate sleep the night before, you're going to have a clear mind. And another good thing about showing up in the morning is there's no one there. It's the first thing you do every single day. So whatever your project is, you're going to work on it first thing. So you're going to get it out of the way. And you're going to be able to work on it before you have to take care of everything that you got to take care of for the day. And it really makes it easier because it solidifies that habit. For me, I get up first thing in the morning, I make myself coffee, boom, I'm on my laptop, I'm writing. And it's just what I do. It just becomes my morning habit. I get my stuff done, I get my creative work done, and then I stop and I get ready for the rest of the day, whatever I have to take care of. And then I take care of what I got to take care of. I go to work, I pay my bills, I take care of my family, and I go to bed. And then I wake up the next morning and I do it all over again. So find time in your day to work on your creative projects. And you'll discover that you'll get better, your work becomes better, being able to get into that creative flow becomes easier, and you'll be able to finally get things done. You won't be afraid of failing because you're going to show up the next day and you're going to do it. So no matter what mistakes you make or no matter what you do and it's not that good, you're going to be able to return the next day and try something new and continue to do it. And you're going to continue to work on your projects until eventually they're done. They feel complete. And then all you have to do is share it with the world and see what happens. And then after that, you work on the next project. You do it again. And it becomes this lifelong practice. And you'll never, ever have to be worried about finishing something because you're going to show up anyways and you're going to do it. So, all right. I got to get ready for the rest of my day. I hope this video really helped you. If this resonated with you, give me a comment. If you didn't like it, give me a comment. If this resonated with you, subscribe. I'm going to do more of these videos. Again, I'm trying to connect with people who want to create. And because I want to be there for people who just, have that desire of wanting to make something. And just they want to continue to do it. So I guess I'm really bad at ending these videos, but it's okay. I'll get better. But anyways, send me a comment. Just do what you can. Keep creating. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, guys. Bye.